Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Coline Witt, and today we have a very special treat for you, all pun intended. TERRI J Vaughn, actress, director, producer.
There you go.
TERRI J Vaughn's in the building. Thank you so much for coming. I was extremely, and I told you off camera, extremely excited to have you on today. I've watched you. I feel like we family. Like, I've watched you so much.
I love that.
I know people probably come up to you and say, like, hey.
Yeah.
All the
It's
time.
like we're family.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that.
You
I
don't
like
mind it? Okay. Well, for all our listeners, she don't mind.
But,
She's like,
pace yourself.
Yeah,
Pace yourself.
Let me eat my meal and then, come over. But what will you be having us eat today?
Well, I am going to make us some fish tacos.
Fish tacos.
Yes.
So
very excited.
Very
It's
exciting.
my favorite thing to do. I mean, I love Mexican food, so I'm a taco fanatic.
Really? Are you based out of, are you from California?
I am. I'm from the Bay Area, from San Francisco.
Okay. Yeah. Whenever someone says they love Mexican food, I'm
Love.
like, they're California.
That's
a California thing.
It is. It
Right?
is. Yep.
Well, I have some great news for all the listeners. We've never had fish tacos on the show, ever.
Yay.
And we've taped like 120 episodes, so that's amazing. And it's affordable. But what will be going into your dish? By the way, I've never had homemade fish tacos.
Oh,
either.
really? Oh, you're in for a treat.
Yes.
For
and
sure.
I judge hard. I'm like,
Good, do it.
Who's that white guy that he's the chef and he's really mean? I forgot his name.
I don't know.
You
I
don't
watch cooking shows.
You don't watch cooking shows? Well, you on a cooking show.
Except for yours.
Okay, that's great. All right, tell me what the ingredients are for your fish tacos.
Okay, for my fish tacos, we're going to use tilapia fish.
Mm-hmm.
I like corn tortillas because I do like a little crunch on my tacos. And we have avocados, onions, jalapenos, garlic, tomatoes, and lime. And cilantro. Did I say cilantro?
Nope, but you got it all.
Yeah. So, and I like it all fresh.
Okay.
And,
Ooh, we did it fresh because I like to sneak in the tube garlic, and I was like, oh man, when they put real garlic, you know it's official.
Yeah.
And then you have a sauce.
Yes. So I love taco sauce, and I like the green
Verde sauce?
Verde sauce, yes.
Yeah. I was talking to my meta glasses, like, what is Verde sauce? Show me pictures.
Yes, I love
okay.
it.
So get in the kitchen, woman.
Okay. So I cook now.
You cook now.
I cook
you
now.
cook. It's so weird because it's like, you're taking busy time out of your schedule. You have this beautiful resume, and then you're cooking for me a broke dish.
So wait, am I doing this right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't know if you needed that extra. I don't really know how to make tortillas for real. So,
well,
did you?
This is a shame. Come on, you need to learn.
I'm a New York native.
That's
Shout
terrible.
outs to New York.
You should.
We
know
don't
how
eat
to do
Mexican
Y'all
over there.
don't?
Not really. I mean, some people do, but I don't think it's a big. We're like a Chinese pizza type of state.
I know, and I do love Chinese food. Chinese food is big.
Not in LA.
In the Bay Area.
Really?
I'm saying in San Francisco, yes, we have a huge Chinese population. One of the best Chinatowns in the world.
What? And I love Chinese. I need to go hit them up.
So yeah, so Chinese food and Mexican food are huge in San Francisco.
And then just so y'all listeners know, she did use avocado oil, and I gotta know why.
I just try to eat as healthy as possible, and I'll be honest.
That's why you look good.
Well, I try.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be honest. So I know we're making the broke dish,
Mm-hmm.
like something I ate, but I did not use avocado oil when I was growing up.
And I was assuming you didn't always have avocados either.
And I didn't always have So this is an upgraded broke dish.
Thank you. I appreciate the treat because sometimes people really make me relive for real. Okay, so
I'm gonna hook you up.
You're putting the tilapia in the pan and avocado oil. I saw you dip both sides.
Yep.
By the way, we did play with some of your seasonings. You should tell the guests what seasonings you have.
So I like to put a little garlic, even though I'm using fresh garlic. So you know what? I don't need to do both because
you don't want to do both garlic powder. Okay.
No, I'm gonna use the fresh garlic, pepper, salt, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and then cumin.
Mm-hmm. I always wonder what people use cumin for.
It's Mexican food.
Oh, that's
like
what it is?
For me, that's the only thing I use it for. When I'm making my tacos or if I'm making guacamole.
You use cumin? Really? Is it cumin or cumin?
It's cumin.
Cumin. Okay.
Yes.
You know what? It wasn't in the studio. I went home and I was like, I know I have it in my cabinet, but I don't even understand why I have it in my cabinet. I was like, I must have taken it from Eating While Broke or something. And then you use the whole Himalayan salt.
I love, again,
this is your upgrade.
This is a part of the upgrade. It was just regular ass white sauce, salt. Morton.
And why do you feel like this salt is better? Is it healthier?
It's healthier. It's not processed.
Okay.
So you see it's still, and you guys got the good kind too, because it's still in the big crystal flakes, and we had to spin it to grind it.
Okay. So when you go, if we were to go in your house, would your pepper be the pepper grind?
My pepper.
We have it back there, by the way.
And I'm just going to use a tad of this because you guys
we didn't get the sodium.
Yeah, you guys got the one with a lot of sodium. And the whole point is we're trying to be a little bit more healthy. Isn't that right? Aren't we, Coline? Aren't we?
I really need to lose a lot of weight. So yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then there you go.
I'm going to get there.
Okay. So this is going to let this fry a little bit as it heating up. I'm just going to say I do not like cooking on electric stoves, but
everyone on this show, I'd say like 99% hate electric.
Yeah, it's terrible. So hopefully the dish comes out okay.
Okay, so you're cooking those up, and then what do you do with these tortillas? Are you going to...
So the tortilla, I am also going to just do a little, I don't know if you call it fried, because it's not like really fried, but I am going to, I guess it's fried. I'm going to put more avocado oil on this pan. Okay. Then I'm going to put the tortilla on. And I'm going to fry it up a little bit because I like my shells crunchy.
Now, is there a way to get the whole shell really crunchy?
Really? I mean, if you fry it hard, it'll be very crunchy.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna watch you do it. I love crunch. I love crunch. Matter of fact, back in the day when Chipotle first came out, I would always get the bowls, and then I discovered they had the taco shells, the hard shells. You will never catch me in Chipotle without a hard taco shell.
But you know what? And I get so in the broke day when I was doing, like sometimes we would have the taco shells that are already in the box.
I still use those.
Okay.
Oh, you mad at me?
Yeah, I am. So that's
guys. I wish you could see how she looks in real life. Like she looks exactly how she looks on TV.
I do.
And the crazy part is we've been watching her all for a very long time. So just imagine seeing her in person. It's crazy how beautiful you are.
Thank you.
Okay. So now that my fans know that they should be Googling you and looking at you. And you have Instagram too. We can keep up with you on there. Okay.
I do. Everything is under TERRI J Vaughn.
TERRI J Vaughn. You don't like when I say the J.
I do like it. I don't like when people forget my J.
Oh, really?
I don't like that.
Well, then good, because I like saying TERRI J.
Yeah, isn't it cooler?
Yeah.
And I've always gone by it. It's, it's my middle name starts with a J.
I love it. It's very
I bet in a million years you could not guess what my middle name is. It starts with a J, obviously. But everything you say is going to be off. I bet.
I'm going to go with Jam. Jam. Jam.
TERRI Jam.
What does the J stand for? Are you going to tell us?
I will. I just wanted you to at least take a couple of
jam,
guesses.
Jelly.
No. Why are you saying weird names?
Because I'm trying to think of what names begin with a J. Jackson.
Girl.
Wait. I got excited with Jackson.
Usually people say like Jeanette or Janice or they say
Janice.
regular ass J names.
No, I'm sure it's gonna be a bomb name.
It's not necessarily a bomb name. I mean,
it isn't.
I love my middle name, but
well, give us a hint. Just one hint.
The J is silent.
Juan.
Keep going.
Juanita.
Yes.
I was gonna guess that right from the jump.
You should have.
I was thinking that from the jump.
It's Juanita.
Juanita.
So isn't it funny?
Does anyone ever guess it that way?
Nobody ever guesses Juanita. Ever.
But does anyone ever guess Juan in the beginning?
No.
So I'm like the first.
Well, I gave you about 1,000 hints.
Yeah. But if you give someone the silent J, do they guess it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The silent J gives it away.
Okay. Juanita.
Juanita.
That's nice. Terry Juanita.
Yeah.
Vaughn. Terry J.
1,000%.
Okay, Terry, take me back to what was going on. Not with the elevated fish tacos. What was going on with the broke fish tacos?
Okay, so yes, this is elevated because when I was growing up, like I said, we loved Mexican food in my house. And so we would make tacos really out of all kinds of stuff. So on a normal day, it was just the ground beef, regular kind of tacos. But I don't eat meat anymore. I only eat fish.
Team fish.
Yeah.
Do you eat chicken?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
We're slowly learning her beauty tips right here, guys.
No,
all right.
I gave it up. I just feel like, to be honest, I feel like our country doesn't take good care of how they get our meat. So I don't mess with it. So, like, this is going to sound so weird. I literally, because I used to eat bacon back then too, we would make bacon tacos.
Really?
That's some ghetto shit.
That sounds,
That's ghetto. It's ghetto.
You really love tacos.
I really?
Y'all really?
We would make it out of anything.
Did you have like breakfast tacos?
Breakfast tacos.
Eggs in there?
Eggs.
Okay.
Yep.
You just like the shell.
I do. I love, and the shell just gives the taste of Mexican food. I love Mexican food. I love the rice. I love the beans. I love.
You really love it.
I do.
Okay.
I really do.
And you still eat Mexican every day. Well, shoot, you were just talking earlier about eating Mexican.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
When we finish with you guys, we're gonna go out tonight and have
Mexican food. Okay. Okay. You really like Mexican. Take me back to what was going on in this household of Mexican
food. So I grew up in a single parent household raised by my mom. It was me and my sister. I have a sister that's 2 years younger than me. And, you know, my mom, she worked 2 jobs when we were young. So me and my sister were home a lot by ourselves. And so
when did she become a single mom? Like, how old were you then?
I was really young, probably about 4.
Okay, so that's pretty much all you've known is
that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of memory. I definitely don't have any like cooking or eating meal memories with my dad. So it was always just me, my mom, and my sister. And you know, we have a family full of amazing, powerful, badass women. So like my grandmother would, you know, of course, we would go to her house sometimes, or my aunt. So we were always very well cared for, and we always ate really well. Like it's funny, as a kid, you never know that you were poor. Like I'd never even thought about it.
What about when you got older though, in high school and middle school? Did you start to, were you poor then or no?
Yeah, we're still living in the same household.
Did you start to realize you guys didn't have as much as others, or?
Yeah, well, you know, one time I overheard my mom talking to somebody, and this is when I was really young. Maybe I was in high school. And I overheard my mom having a conversation, telling somebody that they had to, she needed to borrow like $5 or something so she could get something from McDonald's for us to eat. And that always like stuck with me. I was like, and I never knew that she was doing that. But she was talking to somebody, telling somebody that that's what she had done. And I was like, dang, I never even knew. Like, it made me appreciate my mother a lot more.
Did you ever approach her about it, or you just kind of kept it to yourself?
I just kept it to myself. Just kept it to myself.
Did you tell your sister about it?
I'm sure we've talked about it now, but back then, no, we didn't talk about it. But yeah, it just made me have a greater appreciation for her. And, you know, we always tried to be very helpful around the house, making sure that we didn't bring too much drama into her life, because we knew that she was, you know, a single mom and working her ass off. And so good grades. We always did really well in school. I was just a fast girl.
What does that mean?
I was liked boys.
Oh.
And that was probably the most drama that I brought to her.
I love you.
Yes.
I was not expecting that.
I'm just telling on myself. I don't know why you make me just feel like I'm just opening up and telling all my business.
Okay. I'm sure the boys liked you a lot. So where was you? Was your dad semi around? Even though, did you see him in passing?
No, not really. My dad suffered from alcoholism. Mm-hmm. And so for my mom left my dad because of that. Mm-hmm. Like it just wasn't good. Yeah. And so when she decided that she was divorcing him, I think a part of, and it's weird, I think a part of his get back at her was to not be accessible, for him not to help out with us. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, well then you got it on your own. Yeah. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
And so, but I do remember a couple of times, well, there were several times when I was waiting for him, like he was supposed to come, pick us up, do something, and he just was a no-show. Mm-hmm. And that was very hurtful.
Yeah.
But then I remember.
Oh, you a real cook. You a real cook. You see how she did that? Mm-hmm. Very rare we get guests that do that. I like that. By the way, I didn't know how these fish tacos are gonna look. First time watching anyone make fish tacos. This will be the first time ever.
This is how I do mine.
But now, I love that you broke up the meat.
I like to do that.
Okay.
Because it's like eating, like the ground beef, but it's ground turkey.
Okay.
But I do know people that do it.
Yeah, use more of that salt.
Just be quiet. So anyway, so I was about to say, I remember one time we were going to spend our summer with him. Mm-hmm. And he had moved to Oklahoma at this time, and we were still in San Francisco. And so we go to visit him, and unfortunately, he was still an alcoholic. And I remember just not feeling comfortable being in his house. I think for the first couple of days, it was fine. And so at some point, we were just calling my mom, and we were like, look, we want to leave. We don't want to stay here, because we were supposed to stay like for a few weeks. Mm-hmm. And I was like, there's no way. I can't do this. I cannot stay here. And I think I'm about maybe 10 or maybe 12 at the most. I don't even think I wasn't 12. And so we're calling my mom. We're crying like, Mom, we don't want to stay. We want to come home. So.
Does he catch wind of it? Does she tell him?
Yeah. So my grandmother at the time, she was on her way to Texas for her family's family reunion, because my grandmother's from Texas, my mom's mom. Mm-hmm. And so my mom had my dad, well, because Oklahoma and Texas are pretty close, drive them to Texas, and they'll be with my mom and their grandmother, and they'll come back with her.
On his side of the family?
No.
On your mom's side?
Yes.
Okay.
It's my mother's mom.
Okay.
So he agrees. So I remember riding in the car. My sister's sleeping in the back seat. I'm sleeping in the front seat. And this is a horrible story, but
I want to hear it. I'm all in it.
Do. So we're driving. So I fall asleep, and I wake up, and the car is swerving.
Oh heck no! This is a terrible story.
And so I look at him, and I see that he had like a bottle in the center console. And so I wake up. I was like, "You're drinking." I was like, "You're crazy. You are drinking, and you're driving us." And he got mad. He raised his hand like he was going to hit me, but he didn't. Mm-hmm. And that's all I can remember from it. But we got there safely. Mm-hmm. But ever since then, I was like, yep, I'm never going back there again.
I was going to ask you if at some point did he plead with you guys that he could make the trip better? Or did he was it
I can't
awkward?
Remember if he did.
Well, yeah.
You only remember the traumatic shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's pretty traumatic, though.
Yeah, that was pretty traumatic.
Did you tell your mom on him?
Yeah.
And what'd she say?
She was pissed. She was pissed.
Wow.
I was just so happy to get in my grandmother's arms and be done with this dude.
So after that, did you ever request to see him again?
As we got older and just started learning more about his family and, his childhood trauma and all that stuff as well, to become a little bit more forgiving.
Mm-hmm. So you guys were close with his side?
No, not really, because we didn't grow up with him.
So how did you hear his stories and all that?
So the funny thing is, my father is from LA.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got into the business and I moved to LA, that's when I got to know some of more of his family. My aunt, whom I love, his sister, his mom was still alive then. So I used to go visit her, my grandmother. And that's how I got all the stories.
Okay.
That's how I got all the stories.
Your food looks really good. It looks official.
It
looks real official. And the tacos look good too. You're going to make a lot. I eat a lot. It doesn't look like you eat a lot, but
I do.
I eat a lot. I'm a real eater.
Okay, all right, girl.
And
okay. Put a little water in
Go
here.
for it. Go for it. So fast forward to you starting to get older and figure out what it is you want to do.
Yeah. So I went to college in the Bay Area as well. This was before I ever knew anything about having a career as an actor. I was in college and I just knew I wanted to be a boss. I was like, I'm going to college because I want to be a boss. I want to be a business owner, but I didn't know what kind of business. Mm-hmm. I was going to be in the business of being a boss. That's all I know.
And you told your mom and all this, everybody? Like,
yeah.
No? Okay.
I was like, so in my mind, I was like, okay, so I'll be in business as my major because mm-hmm. I don't know what kind of business I want to be in, but I want to learn how to be a boss in business. And so, these are cooking good now. I use my hands a lot. Don't worry about it.
I love it. Oh, I see how you're bending them. Okay.
I like to bend it.
Don't burn yourself.
Ooh. I know, it's a little hot.
Do you need a utensil? You need a utensil.
I'm terrible.
She over here doing it with her fingertips.
I know. I'm just used to doing that.
These look good.
Oh, good.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
Yeah, I hope they taste good. This is gonna be so embarrassing if they don't. How embarrassing would it be?
I'm gonna judge you really
hard.
And
I want you to be honest. Be honest, girl. So I was going, God dog it. Okay, hold on a second.
I hope you make more. I hope you don't spend too much time on these little curved tacos.
Well, I was just making
You need another utensil,
me.
Please. Use another utensil. She's over here struggling.
You gotta bend it. You gotta flip it over and bend it before it gets too hard. Hold on. Everybody just be quiet and calm down. I'm fixing it. There we go. Okay. So there's one.
I don't know. This moment with you feels really special. I don't know if it's because I watched you on TV for so long,
funny.
but it feels
so cool.
really
I love it.
Special to me.
Thank you.
It does. So
I was business school.
You're gonna be a boss.
Then, mm-hmm. So I started taking all these business classes.
Oh, they're flipping right back.
And it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like it. I didn't like the classes I had to take for a business major. So I was like, what else could I do? And so I changed it to liberal arts because I heard that I can go into advertising, that was a good major if you want to go into advertising. Mm-hmm. And as far as advertising, I was introduced to it and it was a business, but it was super creative. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that feels good to me. Mm-hmm. I want to do that then. And so I got an internship at this advertising agency. Mm-hmm. And one of my class projects was to interview the people in the company. And it was with Gray Advertising, one of the biggest advertising agencies based in San Francisco. And when I did the interview, everybody...
Tastes good?
Mm-hmm,
you need more slap your mama?
I need... I did put garlic in it. It needs more garlic taste.
You're hilarious.
Everybody I interviewed at the company had come from theater or something artistic like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they used to be an actor in theater or something in theater. And I just thought it was so weird. I'm like, this whole advertising agency is full of people that used to be in theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was interesting. So fast forward, I can turn the shells off.
And this is your first job in advertising. You're realizing this?
Yeah. So so it was a internship, and everybody was talking about how they took theater. And so fast forward,
I would have never thought that either.
Me either. I was very surprised. So fast forward to my 5th year in college now, and a friend was recruiting girls for a Miss Black California pageant. So weird, so random. And so me and some of my girlfriends, we were like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll do the pageant. So what do you do? Like, what's the thing? What do you do for
a beauty pageant?
A beauty pageant, right. Because I was just not that girl. So we were like, okay, we'll do it. And we did the pageant. I'm concentrating here.
I know it's hard to cook and talk.
It is.
But your stories are very captivating. So it's like, eat. Come on. Go back to the story.
Okay. I still feel like it needs more salt taste.
So you did this beauty pageant. Yeah.
I do the pageant.
Wait, what did they say you needed to do?
So for the talent part, right? So we had to wear a bathing suit. We had to wear a gown. And we had to do a talent part. So I was like, what the fuck am I going to do for a talent? I didn't know what to do. And so me and my mom and my aunt, we came up with this idea for me to recite a poem from a play. And so I recited a poem from a play called For Color Girls Who Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough. And one of the poems, I know.
That's dark. Wait, consider suicide. Wait, say it again. For colored girls who consider suicide when the rainbow is enough.
Jeez. But it's a very powerful play. They actually did a movie off of it too. It's a very powerful play. So anyway, so I took one of the monologues from the play and I performed it. And one of the judges in the pageant was a producer of a play that was getting the casting and getting ready to tour the country. And he asked me if I would be interested in auditioning for his play. And I was like, well, what do you do for an audition in a play? Like, what is that? And so he gave me all the information, told me to bring a picture and a resume, show up at the theater, which was the Black Repertory Theater in Berkeley, California. And I was like, okay, a picture and a resume. All right, I got it. I'll do it. So, right, just random. My life is full of random stuff.
I love it.
I really love it. I really love it.
By the way, for all your listeners, she added lime to the pot and she added the verde salsa.
Yeah. So
she still got to make a lot more tacos though.
She's crazy. Okay, well, I want you to taste it. I want you to taste the meat and tell me if it needs anything in it.
If it's anything like this story, it's gonna be good.
Just tell me if it needs more salt, more pepper, more something.
Don't change anything. Perfect.
Okay. Yay.
Really good.
Okay. So then.
Really good. And it's not dry, guys.
Oh, good. And I should turn it off so it doesn't get dry.
That's why you're adding the water and the sauces and all that?
Yeah, because I like it to feel kind of moist.
I like it. Yeah, I was scared it was going to be dry, but not at all. That's why you added the water.
Good. Okay, so this is yours. I'll make yours first.
You better make way more tacos. We ain't on diet eating while broke.
Okay, well, you want me to keep making the shells?
Keep
Can
making
we
shells
eat one and then I'll do
go
another
ahead.
one?
Go ahead.
This was yours. I was making your plate. I'll just switch.
Well, we'll just switch plates. This looks really good.
A little messy. And then
why do I feel so comfortable with you?
You want avocado?
Yes. Okay. I want to do it how you would do it.
Yeah.
The elevated version.
Yeah. Because we definitely did not have fish tacos.
This is so good looking. We should have.
Okay, avocado.
You know when they have the cameras, the picture, like, when you take a picture of your food? I feel like we should
have done that.
Well, we could technically do it with these tacos.
Okay. You want any extra stuff? Because I
want to do tomato. Here, I'll do the tomato. You just worry about yours.
Accoutrements. Okay.
Okay, so go
So
on.
where
You
was I?
do the,
Oh yeah,
you do
so
the
I go
play.
to the Black Repertory Theater.
Mhm.
I show up with a picture and a resume, right?
Mhm.
So again, I don't know anything about acting as a career or anything like that at this point. So I show up with a regular working resume. I have been Marriott Hotel, Avis Rent-A-Car.
I would have done the same.
McDonald's.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He said bring a picture and a resume, so I brought my picture and my resume, and the pic and a picture. So it was. This is. I'm totally aging myself.
Good these look, guys.
I'm totally aging myself.
These
I
gonna be
brought
delicious.
a Polaroid picture that I had my college roommate take of me the night before.
Oh my goodness, you were real green.
So I showed up with my working resume and my little Polaroid picture, and I walk into the theater, and it's full of like real actors. And if you know anything about San Francisco and the whole Bay Area, Berkeley, it's very artsy. It's a very artsy town, and so these were like real thespian actors. And I walk in and they are like doing all these weird theater exercises, like with their voice, they're stretching, they're moaning, all the just weird shit. I was like, this is weird. They are weird. I'm just going to sit in the corner and wait for them to call my name.
At this point, did you see what other people's like pictures and
yes,
what their?
And then I saw the big 8x10s. They were black and white 8x10s back then. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have a way to feel because I didn't know shit. And I've been doing a lot of dropping curse words.
You literally only cursed twice.
Is it okay?
Please sit down, Tara. Sit down.
Okay.
Wait, let's try this while we hot, okay? I'm excited to eat this, guys, because it looks really delicious.
Yay. I hope it tastes good.
Wait, I want a cilantro.
Some more cilantro.
I just want to be like you right now. I want to experience it. Okay. I'm
going to let you bite first. I'm scared.
You know you ain't got to be scared. You know you make this.
Food.
Oh, goodness.
Yep. It's good.
That's way better than any restaurant. You sure you want to go to a restaurant after this?
I mean,
yo, it's juicy. It's really good. That crunch. You know, nice we're on a tight time crunch, but you're going to make more of these before you leave.
Okay. I got you.
This is 8+, one of my favorite top 3 dishes on this show.
Yay! Yay.
Oh my God.
Okay, let me finish my story. Wait.
Even without all the toppings,
I know it's just...
You murdered that fish. You annihilated the fish taco.
It's so good.
No one makes a fish taco this juicy and flavorful. You can't get this in no Mexican restaurant.
No.
You better make more of these at home, girl. Okay, so get back to this story. Yes, okay. You are, auditioning for this play, and...
So, yes. So, I walk into the Black Repertory Theater. I see all these real actors in there, and they're doing all these theatrical exercises, warming up for their big audition. They're like, it was crazy. All kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, these people are weird. I'm just going to sit over in the corner and wait for them to call my name. So I'm sitting in a corner with my little working resume and my little Polaroid picture. And they finally call my name, and I go in. I meet the director. His name is Paul Roach. And I meet the playwright, who I'll say who the playwright is in the end, because you guys might know of him. And so they give me some material.
I'm so excited. You like leaving these little cliffhangers. Go on. They give you the material. You read it.
So they give me the material. So I read it with the director. And then he gives me a note. He's like, okay, that was good, but this character, she's really sassy. She has a lot of, spice. And can you read it again and give me some of that? And I was like, absolutely. So basically, you just want me to be myself. Because I used to get in trouble all the time for being too sassy, get popped in the mouth. I was like, okay, so I'll just be myself. So I read it again, did the audition, and they were like, okay, great. And so I go home that night, and they call me, and they offer me a part in this play to tour the country. And it was David E. Talbert's very first play.
Wow.
David E. Talbert is a filmmaker now.
Wow.
So it was his very first play. And I toured with that play. It's called Telling It Like It Tis.
Okay.
I toured with that play for 2 years off and on. And the beauty and what changed my life forever was Paul Roach, our director. He was a very astute thespian, had studied at ACT in San Francisco. So he was a very well-respected theater director. And he traveled with us the whole time and was training us in the art of acting. He introduced me to all the greats that I just started studying about acting and theater, Uta Hagen, Stanislavski, Chekhov, and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the craft. I fell in love with all the theater exercises that I was laughing at all the other people. So now I'm doing all those things.
Okay. That was good. I wanted to know. So you do those now. So now it all makes sense to you.
It all makes sense. And that just changed my life forever. So I always tell people that I owe my career to Paul Roach.
Wow. So what did your mom say when you booked this tour?
Yeah. So when they called me that night, the first thing I did was I was like, okay, I'll call you back. I was like, Mom, these people are offering me this role to travel with a play, and we're going to travel around the country, and they take care of all of it. And they're going to pay me $400 a week.
Oh, snap.
I was like, can I go? Should I go? And she was like, absolutely. She was like, when is this ever going to happen in your lifetime?
Yeah.
To get an offer like this, to travel the country, to perform on stage.
And how old are you at this time?
At this time, I'm 20.
Oh, girl, yes. Go, 20. Mom, for that shout out of support. Yeah. And you were excited about it, too.
I was.
Were you nervous,
too? It totally changed my... Yes. Again, I had never done anything like that, ever. And so we went into rehearsals, and that's how I learned the craft.
Was there any part of it that was like a little rigorous where you kind of wanted to quit at all, or was it all fun?
No, it is very rigorous, but I was so in my element and felt so excited and connected to this new thing that I have found. Acting.
Did you have to drop out of college to do it?
Yeah, I left school.
You did. Yeah, you was like, peace.
That's why I had to ask my mom.
Okay,
But it changed the whole trajectory of my life.
So are you getting teary-eyed up in here?
No.
Oh, snap. Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you, after the tour ends, what's it like?
So when the tour ended, it was a group of us. We decided we were going to move to LA. And pursue acting as a career. Oh,
you made friends too?
Yeah.
Were any of the people from the audition room, do you remember any of them and they made it?
Yeah, well, Kalita Smith, who's also a known actress, it was her first start too.
Oh, wow.
So we were all from the Bay Area, and we all moved to LA after the show went down.
Okay.
And just started pursuing it as a career.
With a real picture?
Yes.
And a real
this
resume?
time I got a real black and white 8x10 glossy. This is like so old. So, we would mail our photos to different agencies and stuff, trying to get agents. Again, was always very adamant about the craft. So the first thing we did, find acting classes to get into.
Oh, okay.
When we moved to LA.
Even after all that work and training you went on the road, you still wanted to do more to perfect it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's never ending.
Do you still take acting?
I teach acting classes now.
Okay.
Which is also for me a form of study for myself as well. But I do also like watch masterclass a lot, and for directing, I definitely take in all the information I can get still.
So between the touring and you booking major roles, how long is that gap, and what was that struggle looking like?
So I would say it was a 5-year build, which is really a blessing because I have several friends that, have been in it and doing it for well beyond 5 years and still hadn't gotten their break. But so I started booking like small parts, and I want to say, like 5 years in of me living here, I got the audition for the Steve Harvey Show.
Wow. And then how are you surviving in between this 5 year, like, kind of?
I waitressed.
Oh, you did the waitressing thing? Okay.
I waitressed, and I worked at a clothing store that was in the Sherman Oaks Galleria. Is the Sherman Oaks Galleria
yes, it's still here?
Okay. I used to work at the Sherman Oaks Galleria at a store called Benetton. I know that store's not
that ain't there.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Company, I think, is folded now, I think. But yeah, that's where I was.
Okay.
And so then funny. You were doing... So I have been waitressing a lot longer, and then I got tired of waitressing, and I got the job at Benetton. And I had been at Benetton like 2 weeks, and I booked the Steve Harvey Show.
Oh my God!
So I gave Benetton my 2 weeks notice. So I didn't just leave. I gave them a 2-week notice, and I still worked at Benetton after I had first booked the Steve Harvey Show.
Oh, okay. That's cool. And then, but it wasn't out yet. Because,
no.
So nobody
the show
even
was on because I came in the second season, but I hadn't started.
People hadn't seen you yet because of that 2-week notice.
No.
Now, I'm curious. So you become like household name, everybody knows who you are. From that point on, is your career completely consistent? Or is it like a little roller coastery in there?
There's nothing consistent in this business. Nothing. So I did the Steve Harvey Show for like 5 seasons. And when it went down, I, like you just said, thought like, oh, I'll just get my next gig. This is great. The Steve Harvey Show was great for me. It's gotten my name out there. Fun character. Everybody loves it. So I'm sure I'll get another gig. It didn't happen that quick.
How long was that gap?
So, to be honest, it wasn't long in the aspect of what we do, because even if I was out of work for 4 months, that's not really a long time in this business. So it was probably something like that before I got a call from Felicia Henderson, who was the showrunner and producer of Soul Food.
Okay.
That was on Showtime at the time. And she offered me a part for a reoccurring character on Soul Food. Okay. Which they shot in Toronto.
Okay.
So that was a huge blessing. So I did fly to Toronto, and I worked there for 1 season. I can't remember how much time I spent out there. But that was huge for me because I was going from this sitcom, really funny, silly kind of character, and then I was going on to a Showtime show that was a drama and a more astute kind of character. So they were totally different from each other. So I just always really thanked Felicia Henderson for seeing past and not putting me in part, and not just putting me in a box, which a lot of people tried to do. So she immediately came and gave me that opportunity. So that was huge.
And then along this journey, where does directing and producing start to peek its little head in for you?
So after the Soul Food thing, I want to say the next series that I was a regular on was All of Us. Will Smith's and Jada Pinkett Smith's show. And when that show went down, it was dry. The industry was really dry. It was when a lot of the Black shows got taken off air. They weren't really producing a lot of Black television shows anymore. And that's when I got frustrated. And I met a girl who was a writer. I was working on an independent project in Atlanta at the time. And I met a girl that was a writer, and she had given me her novel. She had written her first novel. And she asked me if I would read it. So on my flight back to home to LA, I started reading her book, and I loved her book. It was called A Girl Named Lily. And when I got home, I called her. I was like, have you ever considered turning this book into a television show? And she was like, no, I never thought about that. And I was like, well, I would like to try to do that. Would you be okay with that?
And how did you guys intersect to begin with?
On a film project that I had done in Atlanta. And she was actually the costumer.
Okay. And she slipped
department.
your book.
And she slipped me her book. And so once she said yes to taking this journey with me of trying to sell, and this is my first time ever doing something like this, but I have been in the business. I had great relationships from the shows that I had been on. So I thought, I was always so naive. I was so like, I could do anything. Give me this book. I'm going to make it a TV show. And so my agent at the time, they set up some meetings for me to pitch this book. And the feedback we kept getting was, sounds like a great idea, but it doesn't sound like a Black voice. It doesn't sound like a Black person. And I'm like, that's strange because it's written by a Black person. Yeah. This is her book, her voice. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So that was the feedback we got, and it just really lit a fire under our butts. It's like, okay, they're not going to tell us what a Black voice is.
Yeah,
it's like we're going to make content together. That is our voice, and that is it. So that's how we started our production company. That was called Nina Holiday Entertainment.
Okay.
And the first project that we did right after we went through that pitching cycle was we shot a documentary called Angels Can't Help But Laugh. And it was me interviewing a bunch of my peers that were in the business just about their journey and how they stay motivated and inspired to keep going when, you know, the opportunities are so small, when we're constantly put in boxes.
Yeah.
Like, what motivates you to keep doing this? Why don't you just quit?
Yeah.
So the documentary was amazing. It was incredible.
Sounds amazing.
It was incredible. It was Shirley Ralph, Megan Good, Melinda Williams, Vanessa Williams, Kim Whitley, Regina King. We had some really great people in the documentary, and it was like our calling card. Like, this is what we are about. We're about the voices of the Black women in this industry.
Yeah. So how well did that do?
So that did good. We ended up doing a lot of college screenings and talkbacks. It was available on Amazon or something. But this is the thing, and I really want to tell everybody to handle your business. We were just artists, so
that was going to be my next question. How are you funding? How are you maintaining during this whole project?
So we made it. It only cost us like $5,000, so we just paid for it ourselves. Because it was just a camera person, lights and stuff that we would go to people to interview them.
I love that, by the way. Yeah.
It got out, and still to this day, it's out, and you can order it, but I don't know where it's being ordered and delivered from. It's really weird.
What do you mean? So, like, if I were to go on Amazon, type it in, I could order it, but you don't know where the money goes?
I don't know where the money's going, and I don't know who's sending it to you. Like, somebody
to this day?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you could order. So, because I did it. Because I saw it. Somebody had hit me up and was like, oh, isn't this your documentary? It's so good. I love it, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, where did you get it? And they were like, oh, I ordered it off of, I think it's Amazon. And I was like, really? So I went in and I ordered it and I got it. And I don't know. It's really weird.
So did you try to call Amazon and find out?
I had an attorney to try to reach out to the name that was on it. It looks like it's coming from somewhere from China. So it was really weird. It's really weird.
But so does that mean did you just find this out?
Yeah, like not too long ago. Like maybe a year ago.
So is there a way to find out or stop it? Oh, no.
I know. Just wanted to.
But wait, what's the name of the documentary one more time?
People can really take care of your business when you're doing stuff.
We still want to see it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I still want you to see it. It's really good. It's called Angels Can't Help But Laugh.
Angels Can't Help But Laugh.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Damn. So it's like I want to say go out there and go out and still watch it.
It's really good. It's super informative. Some great interviews and advice. And Yeah, it's really, really good.
I want to watch
Tasha
it.
Smith is in it. It was like a lot of my peers. Essence Atkins, Jasmine Guy.
And we could probably order it on Amazon.
Yeah.
I hate to shout it out.
Know.
It's a weird feeling. It's like, but still check it out. It's still awesome.
I know. But that's the thing, of course we want to make money off of stuff. But, sometimes, and so this is why I want artists to do better, to handle your business. But I really I want to give my gifts to the world. Yeah. And that documentary is really a gift to young people. It's really a gift. And it's a gift. And so I still want people to see it even.
I want to see it.
Yes, I still want people to see it.
Sounds very inspirational.
Yeah. So that was my entry into producing. Mm-hmm. That was that.
And then from there, and the whole time this is going on, what's your mom saying? She still support, everyone's support?
Yeah.
You're fully sustained on acting. Handling your money, right?
Yes. I've always been very frugal.
Okay, good.
I'm very frugal. And I learned a long time ago in this business. It's like you're working. It's great, mm-hmm. getting them checks. And then you could go years without working.
Yeah.
So I've always been very smart with my money.
Yeah, I always tell people it's all about managing cash flow.
Yeah.
Like people, you get a big check and you're like, whoa, we can go here and buy this. Yeah, but it's like, no, like let's make sure that we cover your monthly for at least 6 months to a year. Exactly. Minimum, hopefully.
Exactly. Months, That is it. But at that time, so I was sustaining myself, but still like, okay, I need a check. I still got a mortgage. I still got da-da.
You had a mortgage too?
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, of course.
Do you getting married, having kids in between all this?
So, okay, that's where I was about to get to. So at that time, yes, I was married and I had a son. Mm-hmm. But I was breaking up in the middle of breaking up. It was a very stressful time in my life personally, mm-hmm. But creatively, I think that's why I really poured so much into, especially that particular project, because it featured women, mm-hmm. and I wanted to just get their voice and, women.
That empowerment.
Yeah.
You needed it at that time.
I really did. Mm-hmm. I really, really did. And yeah, so yes, I was married, and yes, I had my first son mm-hmm. at that time.
So after that, after producing, you go into directing?
So the directing came in years later. Mm-hmm. So I did finally go through a divorce, mm-hmm. And I ended up meeting my current husband, who was based in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And when we got married, I ended up moving to Atlanta. That's how I ended up in Atlanta.
I almost, just so you know, I wanted you so bad. I was like, man, we may have to make this trip to Atlanta.
I wish I would have known that. Yeah. I would have said, that would have been so fun.
Yeah.
You guys could have came to the house.
It was a lot better on my budget. So
I'm sure. I got you, boo. I got you.
Thank you. But I was willing to, we got to, see if we can make it happen.
Right. But so now I moved to Atlanta in 2009. Okay. And when I got there, so I had been working there already. I had done 3 projects in a row that was based in Atlanta. So I was there, and then I would come back to LA there. And so when I decided I was moving there, I was like, okay, I want to help contribute to the film industry there. Because if I'm going to live there and be considered now a Atlanta actor, I need all the games to be up. Mm-hmm. So I was on a mission to really pour into the film industry. Mm-hmm. And that's when I started teaching acting classes.
Okay.
I had a lot of young actors, aspiring actors that I worked with, and I fell in love with doing that. I really fell in love with just really teaching them how I learned acting. Mm-hmm. And it was really, study the books, study the craft, watch films, and we would do a scene study class. So in scene study, I'm directing actors in the scenes. Mm-hmm. And so we got ready to produce a movie that it was independently funded. It was maybe $120,000. But the script was funny. It was a hood comedy. Mm-hmm. It was called #Digital Lives Matter.
Okay.
And it was starring DC Young Fly,
hey.
Emmanuel Hudson, I do too.
Okay.
Ernestine Johnson. So it's B. Simone. So it was a lot of new actors, new faces, but they were growing in their social media platforms, right? Yeah. So we produced this movie for them. And we didn't really have money to pay a director. So I was like, well, I can do it. I was like, I've been directing young talent for a few years now. It's a comedy. That's my sweet spot. Yeah. And it's hood. That's my background. Yeah. So I can do this. And that's how I directed my first project.
Wow. And in between all this, you're still acting.
Yeah. I'm still acting. So when I first moved to Atlanta, I called Tyler Perry Studios.
Oh, I was about to get to that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I just want to let y'all know that I live in Atlanta now. So if there's any parts on your show, I'm here and I'm available. And so they did end up calling me and giving me a role on Meet the Browns.
Wow.
And that's how I got on Meet the Browns. So, yeah. So I was still acting. And what else was going on at the time? I also opened up, wanting to pour into the community there, the art community. I opened up a coffee shop / theatrical bookstore, right? What? Because when I was teaching the acting classes, there was nowhere for me to send them to get these books that I was telling them about. Where here we have Samuel French. Yeah. And as a young actor, I spent so much time in Samuel French. But they didn't have anything like that in Atlanta. So I opened up a store and had like a contract with Samuel French store here. And so I offered some of the books at my store. And it was a coffee shop. It was a lounge. We had a stage. So I would do my acting classes.
Was it stressful running that business too?
Very. Very. I loved all the, just the community of it. I loved pouring into the people. People loved it, but running the business was really, really stressful for me. Yeah. It was very stressful. And it was like I had to be there every day. And I was like, I got to go make money. Yeah. I can't be here. Yes. Yeah. So it stayed open for like 3 years, and then I eventually had to close it just because it was just draining mentally, financially, all the things. Yeah. But people still ask me about it all the time and was like, it was just before its time. If you opened it up now, it would blow up so much. And I'm like, I just don't have the time or the wherewithal to do that again. So I don't know, but who knows what the future holds. But those were the things that I was doing before I did the directing thing and having babies. I had 2 more kids.
Shout outs to hubby number 2 and 2 more kids.
Yes.
Well, how can everybody keep up with everything TERRI J Vaugn?
On all the platforms, I am TERRI J Vaugn on all the platforms. And I do have to plug my new series.
You have to, and plug it right here.
Okay, straight ahead?
Yeah.
So, and it's a beautiful, do we have time just for me to tell this quick little story?
I would love it.
Okay. So, I've had this TV show idea for at least 7 years. It was inspired by a girlfriend of mine, London Breed, who became the mayor of San Francisco, Black girl. She's the only Black female mayor that has ever been in the city of San Francisco. And it was just her journey and all the stuff she had to go through was very interesting to me as a story. She's a girl from the hood, all the things. And here she is, the mayor of one of the richest cities in the country, right? Yeah. So I had this show idea, and every time I had pitched it to people, they were like, no, I don't want to do anything political, blah, 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 blah. So I put it aside, got busy directing, acting, and other stuff. But the strike happened in 2023, the writer's strike and acting strike. Time. Yeah. It was brutal. And I was like, well, so all my jobs went away. I had jobs lined up through the year, and they all went away. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to focus back on my dream, which is to have my own series. And so I picked the show back up, and I called my writing partner who was working on the show with me. And her name is Nia Palmer, a great writer. And I was like, look, I know we're in a strike, but would you be willing to just write a 15-minute proof of concept so we can shoot a proof of concept of this show? So when the strike is over, we can send it out and pitch it.
Yeah.
And she was like, hell yeah, let's do it. So, because I was nervous because a lot of writers just wasn't touching
They
it.
were not touching nothing.
And I was like, we'll just do it. We'll do it, you know, I'll call on friends,
Yeah.
call in favors, and we'll shoot it. So I did that. Because it was in the political space, I wanted to have a consulting producer just to add some cachet as for when I go out to pitch it. So I met with Keisha Lance Bottoms, who was our mayor in Atlanta some years ago. And we've always had, a good relationship. So I called her and I was like, I have an idea I want to run by you. And I met with her. And when I pitched her the idea, she loved it. And she was like, absolutely, I will join you on this journey. So now I got Keisha Lance Bottoms as a producer with me. I got the script. I got my producing team all together in Atlanta. Oh, and I had to find somebody to fund it because it still was going to cost.
Yeah.
So Keisha was like, I know an investor that would invest in this because he supports Black women.
Okay.
This is one of the reasons why I love living in Atlanta. I cannot lie. I love it. The support there and that Black pride and stuff there is amazing. Really? So he was like, yep, I got it. I'll cover it. So we shot this proof of concept in 2023 at the end of the year. At the beginning of the next year, now the strike is over. I got it edited when my guy, Victor, editor back in Atlanta, he edited, he got it just like I wanted it. I was like, perfect. Because I was like, I need it to look like it can air on TV. I need it to look like that. And it did. So it was, the music was great. Everything was great. Okay. It was like, so let's put it out into the world and see what happens. So my agent sent it out. We got calls left and right of people wanting to meet with us about it. So we started setting up meetings. Every meeting we had, they were pitching us why they want our show. Wow. We did not have to pitch anything.
Wow.
And the perfect fit for me was Tyler Perry.
Of course. I was wondering it. Okay.
Yeah, he was the perfect person.
I love it that we kept it 100% Black.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For several reasons, he was the one. And working with him has been amazing, like incredibly collaborative. So he got it. He got us right away. He was like the wind beneath our wings. And he had a deal at Netflix already in place.
What's the name of it again?
So the show is She the People.
She the People.
She the People. It will it's starring me, created by me.
When does it air?
In May. So we'll launch in May on Netflix. Please look out for it. She the People.
She the People. And I will be watching it. I'm really, really excited and very happy. That was the most beautiful, beautiful story.
Thank you.
Beautiful ending.
Thank
you.
You.
She the People, watch it on Netflix now. And you can keep up with TERRI J Vaughn on all social media platforms.
Yep.
Don't forget the J.
Don't forget the J.
Don't forget the J. Peace out.
Thank you. Thanks, honey.
Perfect.